Hello everyone, welcome to our new tutorial series. This one is all about Flipaclip. Flipaclip is an app available on both Android and iOS devices, and it's extremely useful, extremely easy to use in order to create small 2D animations. I do recommend using it for like bigger animation or huger projects. It's good for creating short clips, and maybe it can be useful in schools as well. It's very easy to use, and we are gonna dive right in the UI, which is one of the most interesting parts of this app because it's really easy to see all the contents that the app offers. Alright, so this is the main page. This is right where you land after the intro of the app plays. And so as you can see here, we have a project section, which is where we are right now, and a movie section, which is currently empty because we haven't exported anything yet. So if you go onto the project, of course, you'll have your own project. In this case, this little cat jump animation, and the little squirrel here, which is also one of the examples that the program offers us. And this is also another example. We're gonna do something similar in the next video to practice with the commands a bit. And of course, we have this all section, which shows us all of our project, not just the recent ones. And we can also create stacks with our projects that we have created. And as we can see here, we can open a menu, we can ask for support, ask the community, or report bugs. We have accounts, which we can create and edit. Also, we can subscribe to Flipaclip Plus. And we can also, log in into different accounts, create a free one, or we can sign in through YouTube so that our channel and the app are connected and you can post videos directly from the app. We have push notification options, we have privacy settings, and past purchases for the app. Now, this is the free version of the app, so we aren't going to be able to do everything, but there's going to be, a few different features that we can try that are free. Okay, so after the app settings and the accounts, you can basically change everything you want in the app settings. We have light and dark mode, as you can see here, we can switch it. And we also can choose the color of our accents, as you can see here, it's very cute. We have splash animation, we can activate or deactivate it. We have a stage redesign, we have color fill, we can make movie file overrides, we can rotate the camera based on the orientation of our device, we can activate or deactivate our stylus pressure, we can see the preview of the stylus hover, and we can choose the drawing input, whether it be the stylus, the touch, or both. Personally recommend keeping it to the stylus. Then we have the options to record time lapses, and we can also adjust the frame rate of our time lapses. We can also choose the kind of stylus, as we can see here. There's the Sonar pen stylus that we could choose, but right now an Apple Pencil is going to do just fine. And here we have about. We can open the privacy policy, the terms of use, the version of the app, the FCID, and open source features. We have support, community, and report bug options. And here we have all the social media of the app. Alright, we've seen all the options, and here we can see that we are offline right now, but by clicking on this little diamond here in the corner, we could use, this to buy premium plans, which are around $6 per month. And here we can see our stats for contests. Flipaclip also offers artists the possibility to partake in contests with a prize in money or subscriptions given for free if you win the contest. Then after our home, we have Discover, which is available when you're offline, when you're not offline, of course. We have the watch feature, and we have the search feature, in which we can search anything we want for inspiration. Alright, let's dive right into our first animation. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a layout which has a grid on it, which is useful for keeping proportions all right. This is very important in animation. And as you can see, if I click on the little triangle here, the animation will play. And in order to make it stop, I'm going to just tap the screen. As you can see here, you can scroll through the frames, you can add other frames, you can erase the frame, you can copy it, add it onto the next frame and add it onto the previous frame. Here it has confirmation to remove the frame. We are going to remove it. And we have the option to add some audio. We can undo and redo what we've just done. We can copy and paste, of course. And let's see this little menu here, which I'm dragging around. Here we have the brushes. We have the kind of brush we can choose. There's a lot of them, as you can see here. We have the size, which is a little finicky to adjust. But basically, you grab the instrument and then you can adjust the size by scrolling onto the screen. I do not recommend choosing sizes that are too big for this because it's going to be harder to adjust later. Of course, you can choose the color. We have the color wheel, the classic, the harmony, as you can see here. And we have the values to choose color with precision, and we have swatches. As you can see here, they're basically palettes. All right. Now that we've seen all the color options, we also have the ruler option. We can unlock it or lock it so that you can move it around, as you can see here. As you can see here. You can also activate circular, box, and mirror. All right, let's deactivate the ruler for now. And as you can see here, we have the layers. Of course, layers are a very important part in every drawing program. Here, you can add a few of them. As you can see here, the max number of layers for the free version is 10, which is going to be perfectly fine. It's enough for simple animations that Flipaclip allows us to do. And here you can see the number that appears and the layer that's currently activated. If I click on the sketch layer, it's going to activate the first layer, of course. And here we have the wrapper, of course. We are also going to be able to change everything about it as we did with the brush. We have the lasso tool, as you can see here. We can also go back here. And we have the color fill, which of course doesn't really work right now, but it's going to be very useful once we get to coloring. We can add text and we can choose to add it. We can choose to add something like hello. And as you can see here, we can edit a few aspects of this text. We can adjust the size, we can flip it horizontally and vertically, we can edit the perspective, we can edit the font, as you can see here, there's a lot of them we can choose from, and so on. We can also edit the color and the size. All right, let's go back. And here on this other panel, we have the smudge and blur tools. If we choose the smudge, as you can see, we are going to be able to smudge, which is useful for creating some sort of motion blur. And we have the effective blur, which basically unfocuses our drawings. Let's go back. Also, you can undo what you just did by clicking twice on the screen with your index and middle finger very rapidly. Also, we have this little button here on the corner, which, makes the canvas as big as our screen, as you can see. We have the 3 dots here, in which we can edit the project settings. You can change the name, you can change the background color by bookmarking this, choosing a different color, like this. Or you can grab a picture and, that you already have in your gallery, or you can take a picture right now. The canvas size cannot be changed once you begin drawing, but what can be changed is the frame rate. Basically, the more frames you had, the smoother your animation will be, but also the quicker it will be. So let's test it for a moment. Let's choose 30 frames per second, which is the max. Let's save everything. And as you can see, it's very fast, but also very, very smooth. This is not the correct frame rate for this video, of course. So we're gonna set it back to maybe 15, which could be a good compromise between smoothness and velocity. And as you can see, looks pretty good. All right, let's go back to frames viewer. As you can see here, we can see all of the frames, and we have the option to add them or, group them. Let's go back here. We have the onion skin option. Basically, the onion skin is what you see here, which is basically the red frame is the previous frame, as you can see here, and the green frame is the frame that comes immediately after. Typically in animation, you draw poses between frames, so this is very useful, and we can edit it, of course. We can edit the colors, as we can see here on the little example. We can also deactivate the colors. We can activate loops, frames before. We can also choose to activate a maximum of 5 frames before our current one. I recommend keeping it to 1 right now. We don't want to make it too complicated. And frames after, of course, which works the same exact way. Perfect. We can also deactivate or activate the onion skin feature as we want. We have the grid. We can also edit the grid itself, of course. We can edit the line opacity, the vertical line spacing. We can also make a grid that's not square. We have horizontal line spacing, of course. I'm gonna give it to 80. 81's okay. Perfect. And we have the magic cut feature, which basically plays a trailer that's not available right now because we are offline, but we can also do this. We'll see it better in the next video. We can add images or videos to the animation so that we have references always available to use. All right, and that's basically it. You can choose to hide all of these instruments here by clicking on this icon in the middle. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. In the next video, we'll create a small animation of a little ball to get familiar with, the phrase even more than what we did today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.